we're live. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are tuning in. And we are here, and I am really honored to interview this one of our leaders in this digital online business out of 100, I think 86 plus. And they choose me to be interviewed, and they are my first one this year, and I am so honored. So I just want to say thank you, Ma'am Karen and Sir Cris, and I'm really, really grateful for this opportunity, and I look forward to this since I think when you say yes, Ma'am Karen, I was looking forward for this one, and I was like so excited. So my first question to you both is I just want you guys to introduce who are Mom Karen and Sir Cris.
Well, we're Karen and Cris, like you said. We are from Calgary, or just south of Calgary in Alberta, Canada. I was a teacher for 34 years, and Cris was a Calgary firefighter. And we have 3 grown children and 2 grandbabies. We live in a beautiful log home that we built in 2015. And the home is kind of what drove us to look for something more to supplement our income, actually.
We just have your log home. I can see it. It was like,
we just had a visitor show up on our driveway. So right in the middle of the interview, I'm going to go and deal with that, and then I'm going to.
That's fine. That's fine. This business is always on the go.
This interview is live.
I know.
The garbage man just arrived, so we have to catch him before he goes. And I don't think
that is still fine. You know, that's like this. That interview is always, you can always do it anywhere, anytime. So, so my next one is, how did you both came across with this business, and how did you know that this business is for both of you?
You know, that's a great question, because when we first, actually, Cris was the one that looked for it. It was 2017, and we had just built this home.
Sorry about that.
And it cost us a lot more than we thought. And we were in our early 50s, and we thought we're going to have to work till we are well into our 80s to pay for this. So we had to find something. We had to supplement our careers. Cris as a firefighter, myself as a teacher. We were definitely not looking to leave our careers. We just needed more finances with our monthly expenses. So Cris just looked online. Whenever you need to learn something, you Google it. And that's what he did. He Googled work from home. And we needed something that we needed to work from home, because we didn't want to leave our careers, or where we couldn't leave our careers. So he found this online. And when he brought it to me, I put the brakes on and said, no way, this just doesn't seem legitimate. And so I was skeptical, to say the least.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? I think you should have been. I think anyone looking at this business should be skeptical. I think that's smart. Mm-hmm. I've always said that skepticism is a sharp way to approach anything. You know, if you're skeptical without looking into it, well, I don't think that's smart. I don't think that part of skepticism is smart. I mean, you can, there's a critical way to look at things, and I often call it peeling the onion. Pulling back the strands of it to have a good look at what this is. And for us, when we got started on this, and we had to look at it, and I said that to Karen, she was like, "No, I'm not doing this. I don't." Well, just have a look at it, and let's really peel this to see, what it is about, because there was a few things that we wanted to see, and that were very important to us, because we had really terrific careers. Karen was a vice principal in an elementary school. She says that she was a teacher in education, but it was more than that. She was a teacher of teachers, and she's an administrator. And I had a really good job with Calgary Fire, and so and they're fairly respectable careers, and arguably really respectable. And we didn't really want to get into something that didn't have, integrity. It had to have promise and potential. It had to have
to be transparent.
It had to have people that we could speak, like human beings that we could talk to when we ran into an issue. So some people might call that mentorship or coaching. We needed someone, a contact, that human to human element that that we love, that had to be visible and in this business. And so those were kind of the things that we were looking at when we investigated this further. And the deeper we dove into this, the more those boxes were ticked, and the depth of those little points were ticked for us. And at that point, we decided then, wow, we're all in. Let's dive into this and really put our heart and soul into this. And goodness, that was darn near 7 years ago, Karen.
I think the biggest thing that made it legitimate is that the Canadian government recognized it, that we get a T4 every year, like a tax notice. So we pay tax on our income. So that really made it that it was legal.
Yeah.
And it was legitimate, and it had integrity. So that it just ticked all the boxes.
Plus, maybe you'll get to this eventually in your questions, Annie, but man, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else, Karen, and we've talked about this how many times, but I can't think of anything else where we get a chance to do. Look at this, even just right now, we're doing an interview with you, Annie, from South Carolina, but we have done talks and chats, and we've met and visited, and in person and on camera, people from all over the planet.
World. Yeah.
I mean, there is
traveling.
To me, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And it works. And we were able to retire because of this business. I mean,
we retired early.
Yeah.
And like I said, we weren't planning to leave our careers. We just wanted to survive. Like we didn't have enough money at the end of the month to cover all of our expenses. So we were just looking for something to survive. Little did we know that we thrive now. Like we ended up leaving our careers early. And if you'd have told me that when we started, I would have never believed you. The biggest thing, I guess, too, when we got we had a coaching call, a strategy call, once we, were looking into this, so we could talk to a person. And the first thing he said to us, all I'm asking you to do is do your due diligence.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pressure you into this. You have to make the decision. So that took the pressure off of us, that we could make the decision ourselves. He said, it might not be for you, but what if it is?
Yeah.
What if it is? What if I told you this could get you out of debt and retire you early? Would you do it? Would you look into it? And of course we would, if that would change your life. And so we did. And that was 7 years ago. And after 2 years, we were both completely retired from our careers.
She retired before I did, eh?
Yeah.
And so when we looked at sort of the income we were making from this after a year in it, and I said to Karen, look, you don't need to work anymore. And that was a hard decision for her. And it became a tougher decision for me because I was going to work and she was at home, and I'm like, and as a fireman, I was working weekends, sometimes 14, every week was 2 14-hour nights back to back, sometimes on the weekends, sometimes during holidays or birthday celebrations or things that were important to us as a family. And I was gone, and it was driving me crazy. So it wasn't long after that, another year and a bit.
Yeah.
Then I shut her down.
Me.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing about that. And I know that, when I started this business, I was skeptical also because, in an online world, there's so many things that you have to reconsider. But I was just curious. That's why, because it's like, this is, especially when they say there's no selling involved. And I was like, that is a strange kind of business with no selling involved. So how do you make earnings, revenue. So that's why I clicked and I went ahead to the second step. So I get
Mhm.
hooked into it, and now I'm here interviewing you both, and that is the great things. And I know it's enjoyable. This business really makes you it's fun. It's fun. And when I look at you both, you always make it fun. And I was like, these two couples are always they're just like going anywhere and they make it really fun. It's kind of like they don't really do any business, but they are doing business, but they're making it so fun. So that's the
Well,
good thing.
I've always said if you're not having fun, you're not living.
Mhm.
So
Yes, yeah, because I mean, you putting too much stress in yourself, so make it fun. So my next question. I know this is not all glory when it comes to doing this business. So can you share us your ups and downs and how you overcome all of them?
Well, one of the ups and downs, okay, for me,
yeah,
initially, when you work online, there's a lot of people that's very easy to have keyboard courage. So when you put yourself out there online, we get people that without doing their due diligence make judgments of us. That was hard for me because I took it personally. I don't anymore because I know who I am, and I know that if they talk to either Cris or I, that they would know that we are just real people. And so that was hard for me initially. Balance is hard for us because it's so fun.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge I think is the ability to take this crazy thing that we all have, right?
Yes, leverage that.
This is like a 5,000-pound piano sometimes, it's strapped to your leg all around, but it's, I wouldn't say addictive, but you reach a point kind of where you're running your business and you really want to help, and I mean, there's so much I want to say about all of that, I guess, but for me the challenge is exactly what Karen said. It's managing your time. When is it my time, when is it our time, and when is it business time? And we still struggle with that. We still struggle with, now we don't take our phones to bed. We used to, and it's someone message, I had it set where it would go ding, and I would get up and look at it, and I'd like, how ridiculous is that? The whole point of this and was to earn a little bit more, but it wasn't to be tied to this thing 24/7. So we've learned a lot about that. We've learned a lot about ourselves too, but one of the cool things was that, when you grow a business and you're successful in it, and you reach a point where you're not really concerned about income anymore, you kind of put that aside, because it's not your primary concern. There's a real joy in helping other people get to that stage as well, and that's our driving passion, is to help as many people as we can. It sounds so corny to say that, but it's true. Like we want, we worry about it, we think about it, we talk about it. How can we help these people? What's the next best move to do, and how can we? So that's what that's one of the big challenges. Coming out of this.
It's a challenge, but yet it's also our biggest joy too, is helping other people. Yeah. Any of our challenges or any of our downs, we've taken them and learned from them, and we've made a solution. Like the challenge of balance. Now we have a plan. We're more intentional with our time. So
you ask,
we learn from
and you ask, how do you overcome these challenges? Or how do you? Because you with any business, with anything you're doing, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be challenges that you got to get around. You find ways to climb underneath, go over top, go around, go through. And so, by constantly thinking about them and testing and strategizing and talking with other people that have overcome challenges, and it's allowed us to find different ways to solve problems, and it's worked.
Thank you for sharing that, Sir Chris. And I know that there's so many challenges like me starting on this business. I'm still learning how to overcome these challenges. I've been through a lot, but I just enjoy the journey. That's all I think about. I will enjoy the journey and do it the way, I'll, because my goal is to help other people, like you both said, to help to give back to community. And this is one thing about this business, be able to help other families as well as to help other community. So that is the good thing about this. But well, let's go to the next question. What is the biggest impact of this business on you both and as well as on your family?
I think the biggest thing is that we now spend all of our lives. We've spent the majority of our days helping other people. I was teaching children. Cris was on the fire service. Now we spend our time with our own family. We have two granddaughters currently, and it's just great that we can spoil them, and we can spend as much time as we want with them. We're at their beck and call with our adult children and our little babes. So
Yeah.
that is the biggest thing. Time is precious. You can't get it back.
Yeah.
You can spend money, but you always make more money. But when you spend time, you never get it back. So we cherish every single gathering that we have with our family, with our kids, and it's precious. And your aging parents, and
Yeah, I was just going to say,
great.
it nailed it on the head, Karen, with time. When you are able to determine what time you do this work or whatever work, you become very, very flexible. And my parents, they're quite a bit older, and they're almost in their 90s, right? And so this gives me and us a chance to, at any time, go over and give them a hand. Get their TV working, for example. That's a common thing that I do frequently, is get the TV back up, because they somehow turn it off. I don't even understand what happens, or their Wi-Fi, or they just took a flight just recently, and so helping them, dropping everything and running in to be with them, to help them, check in online for their flight. Just little things like that had we been working full time, would never be able to
do that.
So it's it's pretty cool.
It's those little things that we're able to do now.
Thank you for sharing that. I know, and this business will give you a lot of quality time with your family, and that's what everybody's goal is, to be able to have a quality time, not missing any kind of milestone from their children or from their loved ones. So thank you so much for sharing that. So I'm gonna go for my last question. I know we have so many followers and visitors and new business partner that are. What kind of advice can you give them because they wanted to start but they are skeptical or they don't know how to? So is there any advice that you can give them or us?
Well,
it's easy, just start.
Yeah. But the truth of it is that a lot of people don't know whether this is real or not. And so that's the root in the skepticism. Are these people just making it up, or are they is this another scam or whatever? And I think that's normal. So we have to honor that normalness. And like I said earlier, it's smart to be skeptical. So what I encourage people that are sort of on the fence, they're not really sure, is to follow you, Annie, on your Facebook page, and just follow over time and sort of get to know you, so that they could see that, oh, she's still doing this. She's really consistent, and I align with what you're posting, so they may feel more comfort that way. The other thing too that I always say, and I'm speaking out of turn here, kind of, I know you want to say something too, but I would just say this. When you reflect personally, and if you have really high dreams and your income is here, then you have two choices to make. Okay, hear me when I say this. You have two choices to make. One is you lower your dreams to match your current income, or you raise your current income to match your dreams. It's that simple. And to do that, to raise your income level to match your dreams, it takes courage. So you can be comfortable and stay where you are and be skeptical and go on and do something else. That's totally fine. Or you could take a chance on yourself and show some courage and take a step into this business. And you know, you won't believe it. It's top shelf.
Yeah. And I would just, I can't agree more with what Cris said. It's just a matter of doing your due diligence, like learn more, and the decision is going to be yours. That's all you can do. And that's what we did. We had a couple of calls, strategy calls with our coach, because we were so skeptical and we were scared. We were nervous. We were excited. We were frustrated. Like we had so many emotions when this came across our path because it was way out of our comfort zone. We'd never owned a business before. I was scared of the internet.
Yeah.
We didn't know if it was real. It just seemed so far away of our skill set. And when people say, I've never worked online, like I'm not tech savvy. And we always say that's music to our ears, because that way you don't have any bad habits. And
so good, yeah.
The training is so detailed and so in depth. You know, the majority of it is video based. So you can do it at your own pace. You can do it part-time. Maybe you just want a side hustle like we did. We just did it part-time initially. Or maybe you want to, you know, your level of desire is higher and you want to make this your plan A rather than your plan B. We just wanted it part-time, but it ended up, you know, growing faster than we ever imagined. And so, you know, it's either or. So if you're working full-time, you know, just start it. And, you know, the pandemic a few years ago taught us that everything's gone online. And so many people were forced to work from home. Yeah. So I encourage you to get a head start on that and try it.
There you go. Thank you, Ma'am Karen and Sir Cris. So to all our followers, visitors, and everyone is still skeptical, if you hear what actually Ma'am Karen and Sir Cris is one of our leaders in this business. They are one of our top leaders. So actually, when you get involved in this business, you will see them on our free coaching video that the coach will send it to you. And they were the first one after our founders. They were the second one will talk about it. And you know that you are in the right page when you see them. So thank you, Ma'am Karen and Sir Cris. Before I let you go, both our MD Warrior, Miss Mila, I think you all met her in a Calgary convention in Faith Over Fear, and she wanted to send her regards to both of you.
Oh,
and
great.
She said she's looking forward to see you both in a Japan convention.
Oh,
okay.
Great.
Hey,
so
can we?
She told me so.
Before you go, we want to take a screenshot here. Okay.
Oh, screenshot. That's good. That's a good one.
Here we go. Ready? There we go. Hang on. Oh, I'm almost there. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Got a picture.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And so from our MD Warrior family, we would like to say thank you so much for giving us the opportunity, especially for being on our show. And I know there's so many are watching from different countries because our business is global, like Emily from Florida, Terry from UK, Ranel from Florida, USA, from United States, Canada, Wilma from Florida. She's actually in New York right now. Wow. There's so many from United States, from Canada. So they are watching this interview to learn from you all, from both of you, because You all are inspire us. I know that you all are busy, and I know we're more than time. So I would like to appreciate, and I'm so honored to be the first one to be interviewed this year. Thank you so much. And
You're so
I'll see you in the mastermind.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks very much.
I know.
Bye bye.
Great day. Bye bye.